Dr. Stevenson, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Could you briefly tell us what's going on in your life and in your career right now?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It is an honor to be here. Currently, I serve as the Director of School Choice and Student Assignment for the DeKalb County School District.
Awesome.
And in that role, I have the opportunity to serve countless families across the district.
Okay.
I provide the students with educational opportunities that they may not have access to in their home school, as well as provide an outlet for an alternative educational placement if there's a reason why they are unable to attend their home school. You know, certain families have extenuating circumstances. Sometimes students have situations that have occurred in the school that precludes them from being able to continue just for their own peace of mind, their own safety.
Sure.
So I have the opportunity to provide them with some relief in another placement so that they can continue with their education and go on to be prosperous graduates.
Sure. So these are mostly high school students, right?
Oh, actually, I place students from K through 12.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. So let's go back to the beginning. That's where you are right now. Where was Dr. Stevenson when she first started her K-12 career?
Wow. I started my K-12 career as a substitute teacher at Henderson High School in Chamblee, Georgia.
Okay.
Which is also the school where I graduated from.
Wow. Okay.
So in the process of laying the foundation of going into the legal profession, which is what I initially thought that I wanted to do,
okay,
a friend suggested, why don't you substitute teach? And my 22-year-old mind said, no, I don't think that will work well for me.
You remember how you was when the sub came in, right?
Right. And just, I remember all of that.
Yeah.
She said, just try it, do high school, you'll have a good time. The kids are great. You don't have to do elementary because, I've never really had a little people personality. So high school has always worked better for me.
Sure.
So I decided to go ahead and take the leap. I substitute taught. And I did it for a few months, enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Ended up getting a job at a law firm, which of course paid a whole lot more, but
sure,
it was something that I wanted to do before going to law school.
Okay.
Started working at the firm. Hated it. I first of all, I knew that I didn't want to do corporate law anyway.
Sure.
But working in the law firm, it showed me that was not the field that I really needed to be in, because
sure,
I kept thinking about those students that I left.
Absolutely.
And in the fall, I enrolled in graduate school and just kept going, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, we have that in common. I actually thought I was going to be a lawyer as well. And I actually started subbing and I loved it. And the rest is history. There's an old saying, if you want to make God smile, tell him your plans because he might have other plans.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah, so I guess that's something we definitely have in common. So, what do you like most about being a K-12 educator? And what do you like least about being a K-12 educator?
What I like most is the fact that I have the ability to impact the lives of families. I absolutely love that.
Okay.
There have been families that I have served in this role. Some of their children have graduated now.
Mm-hmm.
Those parents still reach out to me and thank me and tell me how much I impacted their child's life.
Right.
How much I was a benefit to their family. As a matter of fact, there was a family that I helped 4 years ago. The son just graduated from high school this year.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the mom at the graduation, and she could not contain her emotion.
Wow.
Of how happy she and her family were that I was able to help them.
Wow.
And, I'm very emotional.
Yeah.
So we were both standing out there in heat crying.
Yeah.
But it's stories like that.
Sure.
Families who are just genuinely grateful and just being able to help kids to get to where they need to be.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I like least about being in K-12, specifically in my current role,
Mm-hmm.
is that there are only so many placements available.
Sure.
So you can't always help everybody.
Yeah.
And with the school choice piece, it's a lottery. So if there's a lottery, that tells you that there are only so many seats available.
Sure.
But there are tons of students who are interested and are eligible.
Yeah.
You can't always place everyone that wants to be placed. So I think that's the downside,
Sure.
that I'm not able to accommodate all of the families that we would really like to.
Yeah. Thank you for that answer. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned too that the impact you had on families, like that's super powerful, right? Like as I've talked to a lot of people on this podcast, and it's always about the student, but like you were like, no, what my work does impacts not just the student, but the entire family. So that's really, really powerful. Thank you for sharing that. That's true. That's absolutely true.
My background is special education.
Yep, me
And
too.
in special education, our students have their IEP, their individualized
Absolutely.
plan.
Sure.
Well, that can be implemented with all students. Because
Right.
in the pandemic, we were all right here. We were on Zoom, we were on Teams, the various platforms that allowed instruction to continue. But it showed us that just because a student is a general education student, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are all the same.
Absolutely.
And that they don't need that individualized plan. Virtual learning doesn't work for everyone. Now, there were kids that they just soared.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
soared.
Yeah.
And that was a wonderful thing. There were students who may not, have fit in very well in the social scene of school.
Yeah.
They're very focused academically.
Yes.
Virtual learning allowed those students to take off and soar
Sure.
without the distractions,
Yeah.
to be honest, without some of the bullying.
Okay.
Though, let's be clear,
Yeah.
things happen.
Yep.
So this allowed those students to really be successful in what they wanted to do to get to the next level.
Yeah.
But it also showed us that doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
Because what I found in my work is there are students who were excelling before the pandemic,
Sure.
but you put them in front of a computer all day, didn't work very well for them.
That's so true.
So that's what I learned professionally.
Yeah.
That, we really have to be mindful of all of our students and not put everyone in the same category.
Sure.
Because even though they may not have an exceptionality, they are not being served by an individualized education plan. They still have to be individualized.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely not a one size fits all. And truthfully, I feel like at some point, K-12 education will be headed toward individualized plans for all students.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's not a one size fits all. So thank you for sharing that. Dr. Stevenson, I believe that the K-12 profession is the greatest profession in the world. But sometimes our K-12 profession gets a bad rap. Why do you believe that the K-12 profession is such a great profession?
I think it's a great profession because we are able to impact professions, we impact lives, we impact families. It is because of us that the world goes around.
I agree.
We are the source of everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you share some stories of maybe some students that you've worked with that, have really been a success?
Oh my goodness. Okay. And I'm going to try to get through this without crying because again, I'm an emotional being.
Yeah.
But what immediately comes to mind, I was serving as an assistant principal several years ago in a high school. A lady walked into my office and she was pretty upset and just in a somber mood. And I inquired as to what was wrong with her. And she said, I'm a senior. I'm on an IEP. My grades aren't that good. I want to go to college, but I don't think there's a school that will accept me.
Wow.
I stopped what I was doing because again, I was the assistant principal. I was in charge of instruction. So I wasn't just sitting in my office twiddling my thumbs.
Right.
I had work to do, but I stopped what I was doing. I said, come on in, have a seat. As a matter of fact, pull your chair around and we're going to both look at this computer together. He started researching schools that would accept students with a lower GPA because there are schools out there that will give a student a chance.
Sure.
So we found some schools. There was one in particular that she was really interested in. It was a 2-year school. She went home, told her mom about it. They inquired, went online, signed up for a tour of the school. She applied, she got accepted. She graduated with her associate's degree.
Wow.
Then
she
applied to a 4-year school, which was maybe about 2 or 3 hours away from her junior college.
Okay.
She got accepted. She graduated with her bachelor's degree.
Wow.
And just about 3 weeks ago, this young lady graduated from the University of Georgia with her master's degree.
Wow.
And when I tell you, I'm just thrilled.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I was able to help her, to just take that time, just stop what I was doing and help her. I wasn't the counselor, but I was the assistant principal.
Sure.
I cared. That's just who I am. I'm going to stop what I'm going to do. And I'm going to help.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do whatever I can. And this young lady is, she is thriving.
Wow.
I spoke with her mother about 2 weeks ago, and her mom is still just over the moon that I helped her daughter when really no one else would. Well, I won't say that they wouldn't.
Sure.
But no one else really carved out the time in their lane.
Sure.
To help her and to just give her a little bit of guidance because that's all she needed. That's all she needed. An IEP did not stop her. A low GPA did not stop her.
Absolutely.
She was able to get accepted and she continued on. And I am so proud of her.
Right.
There are students that, they reach out to me on social media and, I remember how you helped me. You were hard on me. And at the time I didn't really understand, but now I do. And I appreciate it.
Yeah. Grateful.
And, I my students, they still laugh that, they would joke around about my class. They say, this is supposed to be a special ed class. Why are we doing so much work? And they started referring to my class as AP Special Ed.
Oh, yes, wow. That's cool.
Come in here and you are going to work.
Absolutely.
Because when you leave this school, when you leave these walls, there is no one that's going to care about you or look out for you the way those of us in this building are.
Right.
And when you get out there in that world, they don't care that you have an IEP. You're going to have to produce. You're going to have to do. And that's what I instilled in them. Yeah. And I follow them on social media. And I'm so proud of the adults that they have become. They are successful. They are parents. They are business owners. They are living, they are fulfilling their life. They're living fulfilled lives.
That's awesome. And you had something to do with that, right? That's awesome. That's what's so priceless, right?
I love that. And that lets me know that I've been where I was supposed to be.
Absolutely.
You know, there are people in this profession that come and go, and there are those of us who stick around, and we're around for a reason.
Sure.
Because we are the chosen ones. We are the ones that have been chosen to be impactful in these students' lives. And that is something that I don't take for granted.
Awesome. How long have you been in K-12 education?
Oh my goodness. I am knocking on 27 years.
Wow, 27 years, 27 years. So you've already talked about how you have a pretty demanding job, and you know, before that you were an assistant principal. How do you maintain that work-life balance?
I maintain my work-life balance by setting boundaries.
Okay.
Set boundaries. There is a time when I have to shut off. And everyone doesn't do that.
Sure.
And, you know, let me be honest. Sometimes I fall short. You know, I'm looking at the phone to make sure if, you know, there's no email or urgent email that I need to respond to. And sometimes it's something that can wait till Monday.
Sure.
But I'll go ahead and I'll respond. But for the most part, I'm turning the phone over. Because those that have the real emergencies, if they need to reach me, they know how to reach me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I set boundaries.
Sure.
If I have to, I set boundaries. I take vacations. You know, I make sure that I implement self-care. Because that's
important.
Yeah. If I don't take care of me, I can't take care of the families of the DeKalb County School District.
Good point. So I always ask this question to everybody that I interview. If you had to go all the way back to, 1996?
Yes, 1996.
1996. Knowing what you know now, if you had to go all the way back to 1996, would you still have been a K-12 educator?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I truly believe that this is the course in life that I was ordained to take.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. Dr. Stevenson, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story with our viewers today. But before you leave, would you please give some parting words of wisdom? Tell us how we can connect with you, and then we'll say goodbye.
Parting words of wisdom. Always follow your heart. Always put children first.
Wow, that's awesome. How can we connect with you?
I am on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Dr. Connie D. Stevenson. I am on Twitter at Dr. Connie DF.
Okay.
And you can also find me on Facebook.
Awesome.
Dr. Connie Stevenson.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know that our viewers are going to get a lot of value out of what you shared today. And we're going to have to catch up with you in a year or so and just see how things are going if you're willing to come on the show again. How about that?
Absolutely. I would love to.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.